Today's starting lineup for Rapid City Post 22. Leading off will be the shortstop number 15, Wilson Keeper. Batting second, the left fielder number 13, Marion Saylor. Batting third for the Hardhats, third baseman number 22, Wyatt Anderson. Batting fourth, the right fielder number 14, Harrison Good. Batting fifth, the first baseman number 27, Alex Dietrich. Sixth batter in the lineup is the DH number 20, Peyton Holly. Batting seventh for Post 22, second baseman number 16, Dylan Marsh. Batting eighth is the catcher number 11, Jacob Solano. And batting ninth, the center fielder number 18, Jet Jensen. The starting pitcher for Post 22, number 12, Lee Naybauer. The manager for the Hardhats, Kevin Corby, coaches are Nicky Winning and Ryan Clapperidge. Here is the starting lineup for Mankato, Minnesota. National Post 11. Leading off is the center fielder number 3, Maxwell Gorton. Batting second baseman number 7, Avery Stock. Batting third, the right fielder number 14, Lewis Moggers. Batting fourth, the pitcher number 15, Tanner Shumsky. Third baseman number 5, Riley Bursaw. Shortstop number 12, Wilson Moggers. Batting seventh today, the first baseman number 18, Brayden Smook. At 8, the left fielder number 6, Ryan Flug. At 9 is the catcher number 1, Luke Johnson. And today's starting pitcher for Post 11, number 15, Tanner Shumsky. Manager Pete Mulvihill, coaches are Josh Cook, Michael Mulvihill, and Jeremy Westfall. center field, your right hand for your mark. Veterans and active duty military non-uniform may also salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Safety of me and my family first. Customize the perfect system for your home at simplysafecolin.com. So today, claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafecolin, COLIN.com.
What's your favorite live event? A rockin' concert, an action-packed game, or an evening of hilarious stand-up comedy? Whatever it is, enter for a chance to win tickets in the 5-Hour Energy Live Sweepstakes. 5-Hour Energy is giving away $100 StubHub gift cards that you can use for live music, sports, or entertainment. Just buy any 5-Hour Energy product, take a picture of your receipt, and upload it to 5HELive.com. See website for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, Enterlazine, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing cardiomyopathy.
Good luck to the Mankato National Post 11. And good luck to the Rapid City Post 22 Hard Hat. Let's play all.
On 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City and streaming online at foxsportsrapidcity.com. This is your home for the best coverage of local sports in the Black Hills. And now we take you to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Broadcast Booth.
Good morning and welcome into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. My name is Adam Birch and this is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. The second elimination game of day 2 featuring Mankato National Post 11 and your Rapid City Post 22 Hard Hats here just about ready to get underway. Both of these two teams fell in their opening game yesterday. Mankato National, a 6-5 loss to Creighton Prep out of Omaha, Nebraska, and they enter at a 26-5 record on the season. On the other side, your Post 22 Hard Hats, 41-25 overall in the season, currently 16 games over 500, and they fell to St. Michael, Minnesota, the Minnesota State champion, who defeated Mankato in the state championship, and the Hard Hats lost to St. Michael 11-1, a run rule victory in 6 innings last night. Today's keys to the game are brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. Find the key to building lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations. Dakota Discount RV is across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. And the key for this ball game here, win and survive. We heard that on both Friday and Saturday at the state tournament over last week and weekend, and the Hard Hats did just that. They survived and advanced day after day, made it all the way to Championship Sunday, and then of course the rest is history as the state champion on Championship Sunday, winning both of their games that day. But survive and advance, going to be a tough task because they lost their first game, so they have to win at least one more elimination game than they did at the state tournament, and they can't look on to tomorrow until they gain the victory today. So, and that is the lone key to this game this afternoon. Today's starting lineups are built by Connect Home Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumberyard since 1928. Leading off for Mankato, Post 11. It's the senior Maxwell Gortzen, the center fielder, followed by the second baseman Avery Stock. The right fielder Lewis Moggers bats third. Tanner Shumsky, the pitcher, bats fourth. Riley Bershaw, the third baseman, bats fifth. Wilson Moggers, the shortstop, bats sixth. Braden Smook, the first baseman, bats seventh. Ryan Plug, the left fielder, bats eighth. And the catcher, Luke Johnson, bats ninth. Another senior-driven ball club, Mankato National Post 11, and they send Tanner Shumsky to the mound in the bottom half of this inning facing the Hard Hats. And we'll set the Hard Hats lineup before they are ready to do battle. Lee Negebauer takes the mound for the Hard Hats. The ceremonial tap of the Hard Hats around him. The southpaw sporting number 12. And Negebauer enters for his 7th start of the season, a 3-4 record, 15th appearance overall. 34 hits, 30 runs, 22 earned runs, 25 strikeouts to 21 walks, 1 hit batter, a 4.92 ERA for Lee Negebauer, the left-hander. Max Gortzen in on the right side, and we are set for this elimination game matchup. First pitch from Negebauer. He winds, kicks, deals, and hits the inside edge. It's a called strike one, and we are underway at exactly noon Mountain Time, right at the scheduled first pitch for this ball game. 0-1, misses downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Max Gortzen, a senior on this ball club, one of 8 seniors in the starting lineup. The other a sophomore. 1-1, misses a little bit below the knees, 2 balls and a strike. Negebauer works out of the windup on the far third base side of the rubber. Just 1 foot on that rubber, and into his motion he goes. The 2-1 misses low as well. Now 3 balls and a strike. And a 3-1 from Negebauer. No, it's called on the inside edge, called strike number 2. So the count runs full now. Three balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch to leadoff man here to start the ball game, and it's swung on and missed down and away. And Gortzen goes down swinging for round number 1. First out and first strikeout for Lee Negebauer on the mound, and now it'll bring up another senior second baseman, Avery Stock. Stock bats from the left side. Negebauer into his motion, and the first pitch misses up and away, ball 1. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-0 from Negebauer. Half swing, he laid off. No appeal down to third. And it's just ball 2 outside. Set the Hard Hats defensively behind Lee Negebauer after the 2-0. And it's a little bit low. 3 balls and no strikes. Amarian Saylor is in left field. Jen Jensen, the center fielder. Harrison Good in right field. 3-0 from Lee Negebauer. Down and away, ball 4. So a strikeout on the full count, and then a 4-pitch walk with 1 out. Brings up Lewis Moggers, the right fielder. Across the infield for the Hard Hats, Wyatt Anderson at the hot corner, Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, Dylan Marsh, the second baseman, and Alex Dietrich, the first baseman. Jake Solano doing the catching for Lee Negebauer on the mound. Lewis Moggers looks at a called strike on the outside edge. Another left-handed bat in this lineup for Mankato National. And Lewis Moggers stands very tall. on the left side. It looks at ball one outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. For Moggers, he stands 6'5", 200 pounds. Pickoff move to first and back in safely. Stock. Holds the bat head out in front and rests at ready as Negebauer comes set. The 2-1 or 2-1-1 misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Runner off of first with 1 gone. We're in a scoreless opening half inning of this ball game. Negebauer, a pickoff move to first and back in time. Stock once again. Hard Hats in their all-white uniforms, white tops, white pants. Rapid City across the chest in red letters. Number below that, numbers on their backs. 2-1, high pop-up, sky high on the infield, left side. Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, coming in, and he makes the grab right into the back and left of the pitcher's mound for out number 2.
The pitcher number 15, Tanner Shumsky.
Now Tanner Shumsky, senior pitcher for post 11. That's from the right side. Negebauer kicks and deals the first pitch to Shumsky, misses high for ball 1. Out of the stretch, Negebauer stares down the runner and delivers, and the 1-0 fluttered right side. Long run for Harrison, good, up against the fence, and he can't make the grab. It's just a foul ball for strike 1. So a ball and a strike, 2 outs, man. Still aboard first after the 1-out walk. The Hard Hats were quickly down yesterday, 3-0 in the first inning after a 3-run home run. 1-1 is popped up right side and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now.
Thank you very much. We go back. And we'll give you $1.
And for Mankato yesterday against Creighton Prep, it was a back and forth game. Mankato ended up losing that one 6-5. Runner takes off for second. The pitch is swung on and dribbled to third. Wyatt Anderson across the diamond in time, out number 3. So Negebauer faces 4, gives up a 1-out walk. It's stranded right there. And we are scoreless through 1/2 inning of play. Hard Hats to bat for the first time. You're listening to American Legion Central Plains Regional Baseball on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Set for the bottom of inning number 1. Let's set the Hard Hats lineup built by Connect Home Center, your hometown lumberyard since 1928. It's Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, to lead things off for post 22. Amarian Saylor, the left fielder, bats second. Wyatt Anderson, the third baseman, bats third. Harrison Good, the right fielder, fourth. Alex Dietrich, the first baseman, fifth. Hayden Hollick, the designated hitter, sixth. The second baseman, Dylan Marsh, bats seventh. The catcher, Jake Solano, eighth. And Jed Jensen, the center fielder, will bat ninth. First pitch from Tanner Shumsky misses way outside, back to the backstop for ball 1. Shumsky, the right-hander for Mankato National. Again, 26-5 entering play today. The 1-0 misses high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Kiefer batting in a leadoff spot, usually a staple in the 9 spot, so basically the pseudo-secondary leadoff spot. He swings through the 2-0, 2 balls and a strike. Into the windup and the 2-1 is a strike on the upper inside edge, and the count is even, 2-2. 2-2 to Kiefer, outside 3-2, and a payoff pitch coming to the leadoff man for the Hard Hats, just as Mankato had. The payoff pitch swung on and missed, and just as the leadoff man for Mankato went down swinging, Wilson Kiefer does as well. 1 up, 1 gone for Shumsky and Mankato National. Mankato in their orange tops, white pants. Shumsky hits the outside edge on Amarian Saylor. National written across the chest in blue lettering, white trim. A 1 right down the pipe, called strike 2. Now the 0-2 from Shumsky is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Numbers on their front and back in the blue and white trim as well. White on their shoulder tops of those orange jerseys. 1-2 is driven to a fairly deep center field. Back is Max Gortson, and he makes a grab about 5 steps in front of the warning track in dead center field. The wind kind of carried that one, but Gortson read it well, and Saylor underneath of it. Route number 2. Now Wyatt Anderson. Anderson steps in on the right side. 2 outs, nobody on. And Shumsky hits in the zone for a called strike 1. Scoreless bottom of the first. Mankato and Rapid City. The 0-1, half swing, and the appeal down to first, no swing. Says the first base umpire, John Whitcraft. Our third base umpire, Phil Schlosser. And for our umpire behind the plate, Andrew Fisher, for today's game. Anderson chopped 1 foul. Now the 1-2 misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Putting 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, and nobody on base. 2-2, dribbler right side. The second baseman, Avery Stock, tough play, and he bobbles it. Anderson reaches. It'll be an error on Avery Stock. And the 2-out error at that puts Wyatt Anderson on first base. Just a little dribbler to that right side. Stock had to charge in and to his left, and couldn't make the play. So the inning extends for Harrison Good. 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch out of the stretch from Shumsky. A fly ball to fairly deep right center field. Over is Max Gortson, and the right fielder Lewis Moggers makes the grab. Boy, a little miscommunication in right center field. Both outfielders almost collided, but it's the right fielder Moggers who made the grab. Round number 3. We head to the second after this on Hornets TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for Mankato National. Post 11 out of Mankato, Minnesota, the Minnesota State runner-up. And your Rapid City Post 22 Hard Hats, the South Dakota State champion. In an elimination game, one of these two teams, their season is done. Whoever loses this ball game. First pitch at the knees, called strike 1 from Lee Negebauer on Riley Bershaw, the third baseman. It'll be Bershaw, Wilson Moggers, the shortstop, Braden Smook, the first baseman, the 3 scheduled. The 0-1, a little blooper over Wilson Kiefer into left field, and Bershaw on with a leadoff single. First hit for either team in this ball game. Bershaw just stuck the bat head out in front and kept the bat in the zone as long as he could to poke a single into left field. Now Wilson Moggers, a lone sophomore in the starting 9 for Mankato National. He squares the bunt, drops it down right in front of the pitcher, Negebauer. He fields, spins, and fires the first in time, out number 1. The sacrifice works to perfection. And Bershaw up to second base. Now Braden Smook. First baseman bats from the right side. Rests the bat on his back right shoulder. As Negebauer comes set, he pops it off. Ready, and Smook drives one to left field over Amarian Saylor. He makes the grab on his run to his left. And that's out number 2. Now Ryan Plug, the left fielder. Another right-handed bat in this lineup. The left fielder almost collided. Actually, it was Moggers and Gortson who almost collided in right center field to end the inning. First pitch misses a little bit outside from Negebauer. 1 ball, no strikes. Negebauer out of the stretch. He stares down the runner at second. Double takes there before he kicks and deals, and the 1-0 is popped up right side. Long run for everyone, but it's out of play into the bullpen for Mankato National. 1 ball and 1 strike on Plug. With that game from Mankato, they took a 3-0 lead in the top of the 3rd against Creighton Prep. But Creighton Prep battled back, scored 4 in the bottom half as Negebauer misses down and in. 2 balls and a strike. And Creighton Prep added 2 more in the 4th. Mankato tried to make a comeback in the top of the 7th. They scored 2, but needed 3. Stranding a base runner in scoring position, and Eggebauer just steps off and looks the runner back to second before the 2-1. So a close game that Creighton Prep took over Mankato. Eggebauer misses inside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike on Ryan Plug with the catcher Luke Johnson in the 9th spot on deck. Eggebauer set at his chest. Double takes a second in the 3-1 as a line drive to center field in Jed Jensen, and it hangs up into his glove for out number 3. Mankato strands another base runner, this time a leadoff single. He's stranded at second base after being sacrificed over, and we are still scoreless through 1.5 innings of play. Rapid City to bat in the bottom half of the second after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We're set for the bottom of inning number 2, still scoreless on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by Asian Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Between Mankato National and the Rapid City Post 22 Hardhats. Throw down went a little wild into shallow center field. So that is our delay at this moment. Tanner Shumsky back to the rubber and into his motion. The first pitch to Alex Dietrich, foul back to the screen, 0-1. Shumsky sets up more towards the third base side of the rubber. Is right foot right on the edge of the rubber for gaining into his delivery. It's the outside edge at the knees, 0-2. 2-strike pitch to Dietrich. Outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Alex Dietrich last night 0 for 3, was robbed of a base hit. He swings right through the 1-2 and down he goes swinging for out number 1. So a strikeout for Shumsky to start the second, just as he started the first inning. And now it'll be Hayden Hollick, the designated hitter. Hollick in on the right side. He looks at ball 1 inside. And now Hollick looks at strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Hollick. One chopped up the first base line, foul. 6'3", 175-pound, soon-to-be junior Hayden Hollick, batting .316 on the season, but has not played that much since being injured back on June 28th. Watches ball 2, miss a little upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shumsky into his wind, he rears back and fires the 2-2, a line drive, base hit into right field, and Hayden Hollick on board with a single. First hit of the ball game for the Hard Hats. Nice to see Hayden Hollick back on the base paths because of a hit. And his limited pinch hit opportunities at the state tournament, well, he was walked and hit by a pitch. I can get back into the hit column. Dylan Marsh looks at a strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. Marsh, like his teammates, struggled last night against St. Michael. Just 2 hits, 3 hits to speak of last night. A couple of errors that they reached on, but just 1 unearned run to show last night. A ball and a strike on Marsh as Shumsky misses outside. Working out of the stretch on the third base side. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. A heavy fastball. Marsh was ticked behind it. A ball and 2 strikes now. Shumsky at 27 pitches currently. Trying to get through his second inning of work. 1-2. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hollick off of first. Short lead for him being held on there. The 2-2 is fouled right over my head. Count remains 2-2. Braden Smook, the one holding on Hayden Hollick. Setting the 2-2. A little bit low. The count is full now, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming to Dylan Marsh, a Hard Hat's second baseman. Here it is, the payoff. And it just got a piece of it, found it off the mask of the catcher, Johnson. Set the defense behind Tanner Shumsky. It's Ryan Plug in left field. Max Gortzer in center field. Or Gortson, rather. Lewis Moggers, the right fielder. Riley Bershaw at the hot corner. Wilson Moggers, the shortstop. Avery Stock, the second baseman, and Braden Smook, the first baseman. Payoff pitch to Marsh. He waves that and missed. And that's the second strikeout of the inning. 3rd overall for out number 2. And the catcher is Luke Johnson for Mankato National. Here's Jake Solano. The catcher bats from the right side. Runner on first and 2 gone. First pitch misses, tick outside, ball 1. Solano batting .248 coming into play. 1-0, a bouncer left side, backhanded stop by the third baseman, Bershaw. He fires across, in time, a nice play by Riley Bershaw to end the inning. Hard Hats, strand 1, and we are still scoreless heading to inning number 3. Back in a moment on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. To inning number 3 we go. We're still scoreless after 2. So it'll be 9-1 and 2 due up for Mankato National. That's exactly what will be due up in this inning for Rapid City as well. 9-1 and 2. Both of these two teams pretty much dead even. Both have 2 base runners to this point. Mankato National with a walk and a single. Rapid City with an error and a single. Outside of that, not much to speak of.
3
strikeouts for Tanner Shumsky, starter for Mankato, and 1 for Lee Negebauer. We'll see how these two teams fare differently the second trip through the lineup. It'll be the catcher and 9 spot Luke Johnson to lead things off for Mankato. Negebauer into his wind. He kicks and deals the first pitch outside, ball 1. Left-handed hitting catcher. One of 3 total left-handed bats in his lineup. And Johnson looks at a cold strike. Negebauer hit that outside edge this time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Into the wind and the 1-1. A little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Negebauer was at 27 pitches coming into this inning. Johnson swings through the 2-1, even count 2-2. Even count 2-2. Here's Negebauer's pitch, and it's flared foul, left side, out of play. A winner-go-home scenario for both of these two teams the rest of their tournament. If they want an opportunity at a spot in the World Series down in Shelby, North Carolina, have to win every single ball game from here on out. Negebauer misses inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch to leadoff man here in the 3rd. Here it is, and it misses high and away. Not close, ball 4. So the 9th spot on. And now Max Gortzen. Gortzen struck out on a full count pitch against Negebauer to lead off the ball game. Seeking something different here with a man on first. He scores the bunt, drops it down the first base line. It'll stay fair. Negebauer tried to barehand it, and he couldn't make a play. Couldn't get a handle on it. Gortzen beats out what'll be an infield single. Would have been a very tough play for Negebauer, and Gortzen was flying down that first base line. Now Avery Stock. He walked his first time. Negebauer ready, 2 on, nobody out. Stock scores the bunt, pulls back and misses downstairs, ball 1. Dietrich coming crashing in on the bunt attempt. The runner's on first and second. He plays well in front of the runner at first. Kiefer holding on the runner at second. The 1-0, scoring the bunt, pulling back, and the 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of inning number 3, Mankato with a real threat. Here for the first time, the 2-0 offers at the bunt, and he misses 2-1. So that was the second hit of the ball game, that infield bunt single. Luke Johnson at second, Max Gortzen at first. The 2-1, he scores the bunt once again, pulls back and misses well inside. And now 3 balls and a strike. Boy, Stock might not have to lay down a sacrifice. Three and 1 upcoming. Do they keep the bunt signal on? The 3-1 he does, and he pulls back. Ball 4 up and away, not very close. So it's a walk, a single, and a walk to load the bases here in the 3rd inning. Still nobody out. Avery Stock walks for the 2nd time today. Tough situation. It'll be Lewis Moggers coming to the plate. Moggers and the 3 Mankato National jerseys all have a meeting at 3rd base. With the mound visit by Coach Clapperidge. Your opportunity now, and your goal is to limit the damage. First, Lewis Moggers, bases full for the 3-bat. Moggers, the high stirrup socks, blue stirrups with orange and white stripes. Orange, white, and blue stripes. First pitch to Moggers. Inside, nope, it's called a strike on the inside edge for strike 1. Egbauer looking to settle down and focus on the batter. The 0-1. This is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Egbauer lost his hard hat on the pitch. The wind kind of swirling left to right in the outfield and blowing a little bit in. Those left center field flags above the scoreboard. The 1-1 fouled away left side and out of play into the bleacher seats. On the left side out in the sunshine beyond a couple of umbrellas. No rain here, just a lot of sunlight. A ball and 2 strikes on Lewis Moggers. Lefty and the 1-2. High, 2-2. Moggers a big strike zone at 6'5". A black elbow guard on his front right elbow. 2-2. Down, steers laid off of a breaking ball, and Negebauer just about had him fishing. Moggers lays off. Full count, nowhere to put him. The payoff pitch. High, ball 4. Mankato National on the board first. It's 1-0 thanks to a bases loaded walk. That's the 3rd walk this inning issued by Negebauer. Now the cleanup spot, Tanner Chomsky. Bats from the right side. He bounced to 3rd, where Wyatt Anderson threw him out. His first time. First pitch, a high fly ball to right center field. Jensen over to his left. He's underneath of it, makes the grab, tagging and advancing Max Gortzen. He will score. It's 2-0 Mankato. Runner at second, Avery Stock advances at 3rd on the play as well, so it'll be runners on the corners after the sacrifice fly. And now Riley Bershaw. A single his first trip to the plate. That was to lead off the 2nd. On the corners with 1 gone, 2-0 Mankato National, post 11. First pitch to Bershaw. Strike called at the knees, 0-1. Middle infield and double play depth along with Anderson off of the third base bag. But a big gap on the left side of the infield. 0-1. Low blooper. Wyatt Anderson calls off Kiefer and they collide. Somebody was calling ball, ball, ball the entire time. Even I could hear that. But it's Anderson who makes the grab for out number 2. And a big out number 2 at that. Keeps the runners on the corners. Still just 2-0. And now Wilson Moggers. Pickoff move to first and back in is Lewis Moggers. Jake Solano asks for time, relays some signs in front of the plate just in case Moggers would try for second base. Ready in the first pitch as a fly ball to left field over Amarian Saylor. Here comes Jed Jensen and he dives. He can't make the grab. A run comes in to score and into second goes Moggers, safe at second as he slides in feet first. Boy, it looked like Jed Jensen caught off Amarian Saylor in left center field at the last moment. And Jensen had to dive and make a play, but just trickled out of his glove. So Wilson Moggers with an RBI. We'll see how that's ruled. They give him a double to left field and an RBI. So it's second and third. The 2 Moggers on base. Stock came in and scored. And now Braden Smook. The 0-1 from Negebauer. Bouncer left side off the wrist area of Anderson. He recovers, fires across in time, out number 3. Good recovery for Wyatt Anderson. Rolled up his arm, kept it in front of him, recovered, barehanded it, gathered, fired across, out number 3. It's 3-0 Mankato as we head to the bottom of the third after this on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. It'll be 9-1-2, due up for Rapid City, just as Mankato had. And Mankato sent 8 men to the plate in their third inning, scored 3 runs. And the Hard Hats try and counter in their half of the third. Jed Jensen, Wilson Kiefer, and Amarian Saylor. Jensen leads things off his first at-bat against Tanner Shumsky. First pitch, a fastball down the middle, a called strike 1. 0-1. Shumsky, 36 pitches coming into this inning. Jensen squirts the bunt, drops it in front of the pitcher. Shumsky, barehanded, fires the first, and in time to get Jensen. Bang, bang play at first, and Jensen is out on the bunt for hit attempt. Now Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer looks at ball one inside. He struck out his first time to lead off the bottom of the first. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball elevated a little bit. That time by Shumsky. Quickly into his motion. And the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. And Wilson Kiefer on the season batting .274 coming into play. The 2-1 swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of inning number 3, 3-0 Mankato. 1 out, nobody on. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Kiefer goes down swinging for the second time, and it's out number 2 here in the third. 4th strikeout overall for Tanner Shumsky. And that'll bring up Amarian Saylor. 2 outs, nobody on. Saylor looks at ball 1 high. He flied to fairly deep center field his first time. The 1-0 chopper right side, leaped by the first baseman Smook, and he takes a 3 unassisted to the first base bag, out number 3. So the Hornets go down in order after surrendering 3 runs in the top half, and we head to the 4th. 3-0 Mankato, an elimination game, and the American Legion Central Plains Regional on Hornets TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation. Set for inning number 4. The top half will feature 8, 9, and 1. Due up for Mankato Post 11 against Lee Negebauer. 3 runs, 3 hits for Mankato. No runs, 1 hit for Rapid City. First pitch from Negebauer misses high for ball 1. Really haunted by the walk in that 3rd inning. Lee Negebauer gave up 3 walks, and 2 of those walks scored. Take out those walks, and it's a 1-0 ball game. Or it didn't happen at all if he would have retired those gentlemen. The 2-0 is a called strike inside edge. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Downstairs, 3-1. Ryan Plug flied to center his first time at the plate, so he's 0 for 1. The 3-1 from Lee Negebauer. Strike on the inside edge called strike 2. So the count runs full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch once again to the leadoff man in the inning, and it misses low. Between the wickets of Solano, he recovers, but it's ball 4. So Plug on with a leadoff walk. That's exactly what this man, Luke Johnson, did to lead off the 3-run third inning. Now on the top of the fourth, Mankato trying to add on to their 3-0 lead. And Johnson drops down to bunt. Negebauer goes to second. They gain the out at second base. Nice throw by Negebauer. You always hold your breath a little bit when the pitcher turns on a bunt or a play back to the pitcher, because it's very difficult to turn and fire to second with just the outfield grass beyond that. But Negebauer, a strong throw, an accurate throw to Wilson Keefe, recovering second. So it's just a fielder's choice. Plug out at second for out number 1. It's a called strike on Max Gortzen. 1 on, 1 gone. Negebauer out of the stretch and a pickoff move to first. And Johnson dives back in safely. Looks in once again for the 0-1. Sign from Solano. A 1 downstairs. Skipped in front of the plate and looked like Negebauer lost his footing and just had to continue going to the plate on that one. Luckily, it didn't go more wild than it was. The 1-1. High pop-up right side out of play. And now a ball and 2 strikes to count. Max Gortzen, 1 for 2, a bunt single his last time. He scored a run in that 3-run third. Long look in from Negebauer to Solano. Gains the sign, kicks and deals a 1-2. Swung on and missed. Gortzen goes down swinging for the second time. So he's 1 for 3 here today. Second strikeout for Lee Negebauer. And it's out number 2 in the 4th. Now Avery Stock. Runner on first, 2 gone. Stock walked both times he's coming to the plate. Fouls the first pitch away. Over around the berm on the left side behind the Hard Hats dugout. The ball's in the strike on Stock. 0-1. Breaking ball hits the inside edge. It's 0-2 on Negebauer. The winner of this game will have to face the loser. Bouncer to left side off the third base bag and rolls into shallow left field. Anderson recovers, but it's just a single for Avery Stock. What a lucky play that was. If it hits the base down the lines, first or third, it's a fair ball. And that's exactly what happened. But the winner of this game faces the loser of Millard South and West Fargo tomorrow at 11 a.m. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Here's Lewis Moggers, a walk and a pop out. Just 0 for 1. 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 on, 2 gone. Mankato still threatening here in their 4th. And Solano wants to have a quick word with Negebauer. Hand delivers the baseball back to him. Two 2-0 the count on Moggers. Negebauer set the 2-0. Jam shot blooper down the left field line. That'll hook into the corner, but it's foul, and 1 bounces into the bullpen of the Hard Hats. 2 balls and a strike on Moggers. Now 4 hits for Mankato. The one in this inning hit the third base bag. Agbauer will step off, allow Amarian Sailor back into position after attempting to run that ball down. 2-1, outside and high, 3 balls and a strike. Very hitter-friendly count for Lewis Moggers. Silver and black bat, white batting gloves at 3-1. Down and away, ball 4. The bases will be full once again for Tanner Chomsky, the pitching counterpart of Lee Negebauer. Second walk drawn for Lewis Moggers. Chomsky hit a sacrifice fly his last time. Bounced out to third before that, so he's just 0 for 1 with the RBI. 2 outs, bases full, 3-0 Mankato. First pitch misses high off the glove of Solano. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he will score standing up. That's Luke Johnson, who crosses the plate, and it's 4-0 Mankato. And that might be ruled a pass ball. We'll see how the official scorekeeper rules that. Either way, it's second and third, ball 1 on Chomsky, the 1-0. Fly ball into left field, back as Amarian Sailor, still going back. That splits the outfielders and rolls up against the wall. 2 runs will come in and score, and just like that, it's 6-0 Mankato. Chomsky drilled that ball, and it one bounced off of the Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center sign and right below the scoreboard. First pitch to Riley Bershaw, misses inside for ball 1. Again, the walks have harmed Lee Negebauer in this ballgame. Setting the 1-0, high and tight, 2 balls and no strikes. And this a 2-out rally for Mankato. 2-0. Misses a little bit outside, a throw down to third, and it's in time. Out at third is Chomsky trying to take third on a little bit of a wild pitch, but Solano recovered, fired to third. It's still 6-0 Mankato after 3 more runs come across. Hornets will try and counter in their half of the 4th after this on Hornets TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. to the bottom of inning number 4, and now a 6-0 advantage for Mankato National Post 11. Out of Mankato, Minnesota, the Minnesota State runner-up against Rapid City. Post 22. Hardhats to bat in the bottom of their 4th inning. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. Wyatt Anderson, Harrison Good, and Alex Dietrich to bat. Just one hit in that column, and it came for Hayden Hollick. Wyatt Anderson reached base his first time via an error. First pitch to swing and a miss from Shumsky, and Anderson swings right through it. Down to the count, he goes 0-1. Tanner Shumsky back into the wind in the 0-1. A high fly ball to right center field. Back and deep, and that ball is gone. A solo home run to the opposite field for Wyatt Anderson. Oppo Taco. And the Hardhats are loudly on the board. It's 6-1. Lewis Moggers took a couple of steps back and then just watched that ball fly. Anderson did not miss that ball. Harrison Good drops down a bunt down the third baseline, and he'll beat it out. An infield bunt single, heads up play for Harrison Good. For Wyatt Anderson, that was home run number 5 on the season for him. Good off of first, here's Alex Dietrich. First pitch, high, ball 1. Fastball. Dietrich struck out swinging his first time at the plate. All of a sudden, the Hardhats go from 1 hit to 3 hits as Good is checked on at first. He dives back in safely. And very quickly on the board, too, with the solo home run. 1-0. Fastball down the middle. Right above the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 from Shumsky. A foul ball off the netting by the Mankato dugout. Now 1-2. Dietrich down the count. Shumsky, peek at first, set. His 1-2, down off the netting right in front of me. On the right side. Reliever going down to the bullpen for the Hardhats. That might be Wyatt Anderson. 1-2, fouled straight back out of play. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dietrich battling, and another 1-2, here it is. And it's a line drive, base hit into right field. It actually hung up and caught by Moggers in right. Boy, that's tough to see in right field. So Dietrich out on a line drive to right. Route number 1. Here's Hayden Hollick, a single his first time at the plate. 1 on, 1 gone. Hollick looks at ball 1 outside. 1-0. Hollick, the designated hitter. Shumsky set the 1-0 as a breaking ball at the top of the zone called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of inning number 4, a runner on first. It's 6-1 Mankato. The 1-1. Chopper left side through the gap into left field. Hayden Hollick has his second hit in as many at-bats. This time to his pull left side. And now a mound visit for Mankato National. They bring everyone around the pitcher, Tanner Shumsky. It'll be Harrison Good at second, Hayden Hollick off of first. 6-1 our score, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Hardhats now up to 4 hits against Shumsky. The new batter will be Dylan Marsh. He struck out his first time at the plate. And boy, the momentum in this game of baseball can change rather quickly. And Cato had all the momentum, 3 in the 3rd, 3 more in this top of the 4th inning. But the solo home run and then a bunt single kind of changed things a little bit. What do the Hardhats do with it to finish off this 4th inning? 2-on-1 out, the first pitch to Marsh. And the breaking ball called strike 1. Infield and double play depth, the first baseman not holding on. Hayden Hollick playing a step in front of him. Hollick towering over him at 6'3". The 0-1 fouled back to the screen, and now 0-2 on Marsh. One of the 2 heroes on Championship Sunday at the state tournament. Dylan Marsh started the first game against Harrisburg through a complete game. And it was Harrison Good's turn in the back half in the championship against Sioux Falls East. This one popped up right side and out of play. But Marsh, he has struggled at the plate after hitting the ball well in Minnesota at the Gopher Classic. Good dancing around at second base. The 0-2, fly ball to right side, and it's out of play. Marsh will see another 0-2 pitch. The balls and 2 strikes. Shumsky's pace has definitely slowed down a bit. Stanton Good takes off for third. The pitch is high for a ball. That one sails into left field. Harrison Good to his feet. The throw comes in, and Good will score standing up. It's 6-2. A stolen base and an error on the catcher. Hollick takes second. It's plays like that where the Hardhats just test the arm of the catcher, and we've seen it a number of times, especially in the recent weeks. Ball just gets away from the third baseman, and stolen base ends up with a run. Ball and 2 strikes now on Marsh. The 1-2 fouled away right side, out of play. When continuing to swirl around on those left center field flags. A little bit right to left, a little bit in. And a breaking ball swung on and missed by Marsh. He tried to sit back and went around swinging. For the second time, he sat down on strikes. And it's strikeout number 5 overall, out number 2 for Tanner Shumsky. And now Jake Solano. Solano looks at ball 1, a little bit outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Runner off of second, that's Hayden Hollick. With 2 outs, it's 6-2 Mankato. Bouncer up the middle, the shortstop, Wilson Moggers, fields and fires with the stretch on the back end, and it's out number 3. But the Hard Hats are on the board. It's 6-2. A solo home run by Wyatt Anderson, and a stolen base and an error scores Harrison Good after his bunt single. It's 6-2 Mankato. We head to the 5th after this on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We're set for the top of inning number 5 and a 6-2 margin on our hands on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. In favor of Mankato, Minnesota, Mankato National Post 11. Wyatt Anderson takes over on the mound for the Post 22 Hard Hats in place of Lee Negebauer, after Negebauer gave up 6 runs through 4. So Anderson tasked with keeping this ball game just at 4. A 4-run deficit, and we'll see how he fares against this Mankato lineup. So Riker Henny takes over in left field for Amarian Saylor. Wyatt Anderson comes from third to pitch. And Hayden Hollick moves from the designated hitter spot to third base. First pitch to Riley Bershaw, misses up and away for ball 1. Bershaw was at the plate when Tanner Shumsky tried to take third on a little wild pitch, and Solano threw him out. The 1-0 is called a strike at the top of the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Bouncer left side. Wilson Kiefer comes in charging. Scoops, fires the first in time on the run. A nice play by Wilson Kiefer. Out number 1. Boy, Wilson Kiefer 9 times out of 10 makes that look very easy. Scoop and throw all in one motion on the run. Looks like he can do that in his sleep. 1 out, nobody on. Anderson kicks and deals the first pitch, a called strike 1 on Wilson Moggers. Wilson Moggers an RBI double his last trip. A sacrifice bunt before that, so just 1 for 1. Anderson misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the mound this season, 65 2/3 for Anderson. The 1-1 is outside 2-1. A 5-4 record, 51 hits in 2-1 is fouled away right side out of play. 38 runs, only 20 earned runs, 64 strikeouts to 38 walks, 10 hit batters, a 2.13 ERA for Wyatt Anderson. This his 17th appearance and has made 13 starts. 2-2. Swung on and missed, ball in the turf. Solano gathers and fires on the inside of the first base bag to Dietrich. And Moggers goes down swinging with the 2-3 put out for out number 2. Now Braden Smook. 2 outs and nobody on, 6-2 Mankato. Anderson's last appearance, as Smook looks at ball one a little bit outside. It came at the state tournament against Mitchell. And he went 5 innings. Misses downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. 5 innings, took the loss. 4 runs, only 2 earned. 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. 2-0. Popped foul and out of play on the right side. And now 2 balls and a strike on Smook. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Trickled off the glove of Solano back to the backstop. Header friendly count with 2 outs and empty base paths. 3-1. Bouncer left side, snagged on a low hop by Hayden Hollick. The low throw, and Dietrich can't handle it. Tried to tag him out. And it'll be an error on Hayden Hollick to allow this inning to continue. Two outs, runner on first for Ryan Plug. Plug flied to center his first time, walked his last. So just 0 for 1, and he looks at a first pitch called strike, fastball. The 0-1 from Anderson is a called strike 2, this time at the knees. 2 strikes on Plug. Two-strike pitch, breaking ball back to the pitcher Anderson. He gathers and loops it to first in time for out number 3. Mankato strands a 2-out error, and they still lead 6-2. We head to the bottom of the 5th after this on Hardnets TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We're back for the bottom of inning number 5. Momentum has switched a little bit after the Hard Hats got on the board in their 4th. It's 6-2. And it'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Hard Hats. Judd Jensen, Wilson Kiefer, and Riker Henney. First pitch to Jensen, ground ball left side, backhand stop by the shortstop Wilson Muggers, and he fires across in time. Out number 1. Nice play for the sophomore. Now the shortstop for Rapid City, it's Wilson Kiefer. Has struck out twice against Tanner Shumsky so far today. He scores the bunt, pulls back, and yeah, appeal down to first, no swing. 1 ball and no strikes. Shumsky into his wind in the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Third baseman Bershaw creeping in a little bit. 2-0. Inside edge with a breaking ball. 2-1. Shumsky winds, kicks, deals, and the 2-1 up and away, ball 3. Riker Henny on deck in place of Amarian Saylor. The 3-1. Swing and a miss now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch now to the Hard Hats shortstop. Here it is, and it's outside, ball 4. Kiefer draws a walk. So he's on base for the first time today. It comes with 1 out, and it brings up the aforementioned Riker Henny. Riker Henny to bat from the right side on the season overall. Henny batting .297 coming into play. 1 on, 1 gone, 6-2 Mankato. First pitch to Henny is a fastball down the pipe, called strike 1. Henny did not play in last night's ball game. A 1 outside by a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shumsky from the stretch, the 1-1 is fouled back to the screen. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes on the Hard Hats' new left fielder. Waves the bat head out in front and rests it on his back right shoulder. Pops it up, and the 1-2 from Shumsky is a little bit inside or high. 2-2. Ready in the 2-2 pitch. Kiefer takes off for second and swung on to miss the throw down. Will not be in time. At 1 bounced into the second base bag. And Kiefer swipes second on the strikeout by Henny. A little hit and run action. Henny down swinging for out number 2. Here's Wyatt Anderson, runner at second, 2 gone, 6-2 Mankato. Anderson looks at a breaking ball on the inside edge, called strike 1. Anderson, the solo home run on an 0-1 pitch last inning over the right field wall. A 1, swing and a miss, wanted to power another one out of the ballpark. This time a little bit late, 0-2. Kiefer off a second, 2 strikes on Anderson. Bounces the bat off his back right shoulder. The 0-2 popped up right side, out of play. Anderson, before that solo home run, reached on an error in the first. Stranded at first base. The 0-2, Kiefer takes off for third. It's called strike 3, and the throwdown does not matter. Anderson strikes out looking for out number 3. So the Hard Hats strand 1, and we head to the 6th after this on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to that Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. The top of the 6th inning is where we had elimination game here at the American Legion Central Plains Regional. Adam Birch alongside you, ready to bring you the final 2 innings of regulation, and if we need more, we will have that right here on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Both teams, their season on the line here. And Rapid City trailing 6-2. 9-1-2, 2 up 4, post 11. And Luke Johnson flares one shallow left field, and that'll bloop. Diving grab by Wilson Kiefer in fair territory. Boy, Kiefer came out of nowhere to make that grab. Boy, Wilson Kiefer on a dead sprint. Hollick had no chance. The left fielder, Riker Henny, had no chance. Really, it was only Kiefer with the opportunity, and Kiefer laid out knowing the season on the line. So 1 up, 1 gone on 1 pitch. Johnson goes down. And now Max Gortson. And Gortson looks at ball too low from Anderson. White Anderson back to the mound for his 2nd inning of work in relief. 2-0 on Gortson. And it misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes. 1 out, nobody on. It's the top of the Mankato lineup. 3-0. Strike on the inside edge, 3-1. Upper inside corner. Ready in the 3-1. Swung on and foul tipped right at the plate. Gortson now runs the count full 3-2. Has struck out twice and dropped down a bunt single. Scored a run in that 3rd inning as well. Payoff pitch is strike 3 called outside edge. And a backwards K. Sits down Gortson for out number 2. Second strikeout for Wyatt Anderson on the mound. Here's Avery Stock. The second baseman bats with 2 outs, nobody on. 1 for 1 day. And he looks at a called strike 1 at the knees. 2 walks and a single. 2 runs scored for Avery Stock. A 1 popped up behind the plate, foul and out of play. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Stock. Two-strike pitch is outside. He crossed up Jake Solano. Popped out of his glove. A ball and 2 strikes. Ready in the 1-2 is a fly ball to center field. Jed Jensen over to his right. He settles underneath of it, makes the grab, out number 3. So a very quick inning. Mankato goes up 3 down, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Rapid City down to their final 6 outs offensively. We'll see what they do after this on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Taking a look on Hard Hats TV if you're watching with us. Taking a look at the bracket for Region 6, the Central Plains Regional. Of course, as you can see, the winner of this game will face the loser of Millard South and West Fargo. Sioux Falls East winners in the previous game this morning. First pitch to Harrison Good, misses outside for ball 1. It'll be Good, Dietrich, and Hollick against Shumsky, and he misses high. 2 balls and no strikes. Harrison Good dropped down a bunt single his last time and scored a run on a stolen base and then a throwing error down to third by the catcher. The 2-0. High fly ball to center field. Back is Gortson, still roaming back, and to his right, he makes the grab on the run. A few steps in front of the warning track, just to the right of the 393 sign in left center field. And Good just misses extra bases. Instead, it's out number 1. Now Alex Dietrich. First pitch swung on and missed. Pulled the string on him with a breaking ball. And it's 0-1. 6-2 our score in favor of Mankato. The 0-1 foul tipped back to the screen. 0-2. Dietrich a shorter wood stance. And the 0-2 bouncer right side. Second baseman Avery Stock fields and fires the first in time. Out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Rapid City in their 6th. And now Hayden Hollick. Hollick is 2 for 2. Both singles. First pitch is outside ball 1. Off the glove of the catcher, Johnson. 1 ball, no strikes on Hollick. The 1-0. Chopper right by the Hard Hats dugout next to Dylan Marsh. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 winds. Misses high, not close. 2 balls and a strike on Hollick. Dribbled one right back up the middle, and the other two is pull left side of the infield. Fouls this one back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 gone for Rapid City. Shumsky into his windup, the 2-2. Outside edge called strike 3. Hollick goes down looking, and the Hard Hats go down in order in their 6th. We head to the 7th. Mankato leading 6-2, trying to tack on a few more runs. Heading to the bottom half, we will play that regardless here on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Set for inning number 7. Wyatt Anderson back to the mound in relief of Lee Negebauer. The Hard Hats trying to keep this a 4-run deficit heading to the bottom half. And the first pitch on Lewis Moggers is a called strike at the knees, 0-1. Moggers has walked twice and popped out to the shortstop Kiefer. A 1 misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. They put a little shift on him on his pull right side of the infield. 1-1, up and away, 2 balls and a strike. Anderson working quickly, came in with 27 pitches in relief. This one a high fly ball to right field. Back is Harrison Good, still going back, and that ball is off of the wall. Quickly, it bounces right to Harrison Good, and he gets a strong throw in and keeps the Moggers to a single. The Moggers on base. First time into the hit column today. And now the pitching counterpart of Anderson and Tanner Shumsky. An RBI double his last trip. That was in the 4th inning. First time facing Wyatt Anderson. He was the last man to face Lee Negebauer on his day. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. So Moggers off of first with nobody out. Top of inning number 7 at 6-2. Mankato National, post 11. 2-0, a high fly ball, deep right field. Back is Harrison Good, still going back, and that ball is up against the wall once again. Shumsky rounds first, heads for second, having difficulty giving the ball in, and that one is wild. Now to third, and the throw to the plate, not in time. Moggers dives in safely. It's 7-2. It was a wild throw coming in. Missed the cutoff man, went to third, and Hollick's throw to the plate a little bit late. See if there's 2 errors on the play. It might be 1 in right and 1 in third base. Fly ball to left center field. Jen Jensen makes the grab. Shumsky takes and goes to third, and it's a wild throw to third and off of Hollick's glove. It stays in the field of play, and Shumsky is shaken up a little bit. He dove into third base, but he's shaken up a little bit slow, walking it off. But he looks to be all right. So there's one out after the fly out by Bersha.
The shortstop is 12, Wilson Mocker.
And now Wilson Moggers, sky-high pop-up right side of the infield. Alex Dietrich into the dugout and just ran out of room. There was a Mankato player outside of the dugout, the on-deck man. And he quickly ducked and covered into the Mankato dugout. And that was Braden Smook. Dietrich just barely ran out of room. He was on the top step of the dugout. A 1-2 Moggers is popped up right side, foul territory, long run for Harrison, good, and he runs out of room into the bullpen area for Mankato, 0-2. Eighth run of this ball game for Mankato, standing 90 feet away. In Shumsky, Wilson Moggers at the plate. He's 1 for 2. An RBI double. And the 0-2 swung on and missed, snagged by Solano behind the plate, and that's out number 2. Here's Braden Smook. 0 for 3 day for Smook, and he looks out a called strike 1 on the right side. A fly to left, a bouncer to the left side at third, and an error by the third baseman. Opportunity for Wilson Kiefer at short. He gathers, fires across in time, out number 3. So Mankato adds 1 insurance run, and they lead by 5. It's 7-2. Rapid City down to potentially their final outs of the season. Their final 3 outs of the season. And we'll see how they fare after this on Hornets TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We're set for the bottom of inning number 7, and Tanner Shumsky set to try and finish off his complete game. Shumsky at 93 pitches entering this 7th inning. Can throw a daily max of 105 and finish the batter once he gets to 105 pitches. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up for Rapid City. Dylan Marsh to lead things off. First pitch, he pops up a bunt, drops it down the third base line, and it spins foul for just strike one. Dylan Marsh has struck out twice today. Love to do something different to start off this seventh. And Marsh looks at ball one a little bit inside. A swing and a miss on the 1-1. And now a ball and 2 strikes. Marsh, line drive into short and snagged on the low line drive by the shortstop, Wilson Moggers. Out number 1. Now Jake Solano, 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to the Hard Hats catcher is swung on and missed. 0-1. Might very well be Solano's final at-bat in a Rapid City Post 22 Hard Hats uniform. Came back for his super season year. The 1-1 misses down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Solano 0 for 2 today. Into the wind in the 2-1 as a strike at the top of the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 from Shumsky, a line try foul right side, out of play. Nice grab in the bullpen for somebody in Mankato's pen, just in case Shumsky is unable to complete this ball game. 2-2, foul back to the screen. Solano stays alive. Hard Hats faithful on hand here today to try and will their hard hats on. 2-2, swung on and missed. Solano goes down swinging. Out number 2. 9th strikeout for Tanner Shumsky. 2 outs and nobody on, 7-2. Mankato National. First pitch to Jed Jensen, breaking ball at the top of the zone called strike 1. 0-1. Jensen 0 for 2. A couple of bouncers, 1 back to the pitcher, 1 to short, and it's swung on and missed on the 0-1. 0-2. Hard Hats potentially down to their final strike of the 2022 season. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and Jensen goes down looking, and that ends the Hard Hats season. Final score in this one, Mankato moves on to see another day, 7-2 over the host team, Rapid City Post 22 Hard Hats. And we'll take a quick step aside and come back for our Pioneer Bank and Trust postgame show right after this on Hard Hats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome to the Pioneer Bank & Trust post-game show. Pioneer Bank & Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank & Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. The Hard Hats season ends here at the Central Plains Regional on day 2. And a 7-2 loss to Mankato National, and an excellent performance on the mound from Tanner Shumsky. 107 pitches to get the win for Mankato National and eliminate the host team, Rapid City. And a quick rundown of this ball game. Both teams scoreless through the first 2 innings before Mankato jumped on the board in the 3rd inning. 3 runs in that 3rd inning, and they had all the momentum, including 3 more runs in the top of the 4th. It was 6-0 at that point. Momentum started to swing a little bit in the bottom half of the 4th inning. A leadoff solo home run by Wyatt Anderson to the opposite field kind of sparked the offense a little bit. And right after that, Harrison Good dropped down a bunt single and caught Mankato sleeping a little bit. He would come all the way around to score. Those were the only 2 runs of the ball game for the Hard Hats, though. In the top of the 7th, Mankato added 1 more big insurance run to stretch the margin to 5 runs, and that's where we stood. The final score, 7-2. Hard Hats 2022 season comes to a close here on day 2 at the Central Plains Regional. Today's player of the game is sponsored by Claiborne Lowson Sabres. Whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne Lowson Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne Lowson Sabres in Rapid City. And the players of the game for today, although it was not a great showing in their final game of the 2022 season, I'm going to give it to the entire Hard Hats club. This young team overperformed from a lot of the standards that they were really predicted this season. They're so young. Lots of soon-to-be juniors in high school. Not too many spots to be had next season. Just 3 spots on the varsity club will be open for the 2023 season. And this team overperformed, winning the state championship and winning those 4 games in a row against Pierre and Sioux Falls East and Harrisburg and Sioux Falls East again, all at that state tournament, and all with their life on the line in that state tournament. And this entire team outperformed their expectations, and really the expectations as a post-22 team is to win the state tournament. That's basically a given. Now, this team and last year's team, fairly young. They're a very young team and trying to come into their own, but Rapid City did it. They won their state tournament and made it into the Central Plains Regional as the host team and state champion, but eliminated here on day 2. Fans, before I sign off for one final time for the 2022 season, I'd like to thank some special people. Once again, my goal this season, just like last season, was never to make the broadcast about me, but some thank yous are definitely in order. First, back at the station, thank you to Matt Kearney. Matt has run the board behind the scenes for every single game this season for me, and all but 1 game last year for me. He was always there to provide weather updates and able to adjust on his toes with whatever the games and I threw at him. And thank you to the general manager of Post 22, Wayne Sullivan, and basically everyone that helps out within the organization. This program is a family, and you all made me feel like it was just that every single time I was around this program. Thank you to head coach Kelvin Torvey for always being available for team information and to help with contacting other coaches, and for the occasional jokes with me being the worst orderer at restaurants, although even he admitted that I was better this year than last year. Thank you to the Post 22 players for allowing me to tell your stories. And thank you to all the parents who have helped me as well in these 2 seasons. This season had so many ups and downs, but this team is one of the most resilient teams that I have ever seen. And watching the joy in their faces after winning that 44th state title is something I will never forget. Thank you to my very soon-to-be wife, Sarah, for sitting next to me in the booth this season through all the long nights and supporting me, and to my family for listening and supporting me as well. To the Rapid City Post 22 fans, near and far, thank you for listening. It has been a pleasure to get to know some of you and be the voice in your ear for every game. Finally, thank you to Nate Brown for doing everything in your power to put me in the best position to succeed these last 2 years. I've gained a great mentor for the future, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to broadcast on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Hard Hats fall short here at the Central Plains Regional. And until the 2022 season, my name is Adam Birch. Enjoy the baseball offseason.